So, Dr. Cunningham, I want to thank you so much for coming on the My K12 Career Show to share your story with our viewers and our listeners. Could you please tell us what's going on in your life and your K12 career right now?
Well, currently, I just finished up the school year with Memphis Shelby County Schools as an assistant principal at Brownsville Road Optional School. And now I'm currently coming back to Fayette County Public Schools, where I began my career as a second grade teacher, where I will be the principal at West Junior High School.
Congratulations.
Thank
All
you.
right. That's what's up, my brother. That is really, really cool, man. So you're actually going back to where you started your career. What do you like about that school district that you're going back to?
I love how it's a smaller community. We are a smaller district. We have one high school, 2 middle schools, and like 4 elementary schools, and we're just more closer knit. I know we're big on family, we're big on collaboration, and of course, perseverance and service are a part of our aims. And we really embodied it. You know, it's a close unit here. You know, everyone pretty much knows everyone, and we have that buy-in of our school community members. So I really enjoy the relationships that we have in place in Fayette County Public Schools.
That's awesome. So I noticed you are a Dr. Cunningham. Where did you get your doctorate from?
Freed-Hardeman University.
Okay, good deal. Congratulations on that. I know that's tough, bro.
Yeah.
But you got it done, you know.
Yes,
I remember when I was going through my dissertation, and my mentor that was working with me said, "Hey, Joseph, the best dissertation is a completed dissertation." So
absolutely.
I never forgot that. So, Doc, why did you get into K-12 education? I mean, it's obvious that you could have gone into any career that you wanted to, but you chose K-12 education. Why?
It was like one of those things that I felt internally growing up, because I know even as a child, I wanted to be an educator. Actually, I wanted to be an educator, a preacher, and an athlete, a basketball player.
Okay.
So my dad actually was a pastor. So growing up, being around him, seeing him interact with people, seeing him in his noble purpose, basically stirred up something in me where I wanted to serve people as well. And I had an experience in elementary school with a teacher who was very instrumental in me basically becoming more of a scholar, from basically being someone who was kind of just to be honest, a classroom disruption. You know, my kindergarten year was kind of tough. Yeah. And I had a first grade teacher by the name of Miss Morgan who took me in and basically showed me what empathy looked like, what patience looked like, and what love looked like from an educator standpoint. And from that point on, I knew then I wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to be able to emulate and give back and give someone what she gave me, in that instance being my first grade teacher. So from that point, I went to undergrad, majored in interdisciplinary studies with elementary education being my focus. And I locked in and I stayed in, and I came out and I first became a second grade teacher, and I taught that for 2 years. And I became a fifth grade teacher where I taught an all male fifth grade class. And from that point, it was just, to me, it was divine intervention, because we had a gentleman that was in our building at the time that was at one point at the board level, but he was in the building serving in the capacity in the building when he was assisting in our building I was teaching in, and he used to be in my classroom a lot.
Okay.
And I knew jumping into something different, but it's just, to me, it kind of all goes together. And he used to be in my classroom, and I know he eventually became the superintendent of our district.
Wow.
And his first order of task was basically to try to bring me on board as an assistant principal.
Wow. So he saw greatness within you.
Basically, yes, sir. Yeah,
That's
so.
Really cool. Really cool. So it's clear that you're truly committed to K-12 education, because let's be honest, I mean, there's very few males of color, African-American males in particular, that work at the elementary level. Yes. So what made you choose that? Because I mean, even in my case, I decided to go into K-12 education, but I actually went into the high school. And a lot of it had to do, truthfully, with me being able to be a coach as well.
Yeah. Well, elementary, to me, it's I feel like children are like pristine glass, and they're very impressionable. And my whole purpose was to make sure that I can be a part of the foundation. Okay. And to build them up, because I feel like, going to that quote where it's it's easy to, build children and repair broken men.
Absolutely.
I truly believe, and I was blessed, I've been able to, see that in the work that I do with the kids. And it was just, to me, first and foremost, because I remember the impression my first grade teacher had on me. Because if I not had her as a teacher, who knows the course of path I would have chose as a student.
Yeah, that's really powerful. So when you think about your career all these years, What do you like most about K-12 education, and what do you like least?
Most is just being able to connect, develop those relationships, being able to see people become the best version of themselves, whether if it's just your students, whether if it's your colleagues, whether if it's, just basically some of the stakeholders in the community, just being able to use that synergy to accomplish the main goal, which for me, my noble purpose as an educator, my main goal is to help transcend, to help see kids, go to the next level, help empower and enlighten. So by doing that and seeing the light bulb go, off for the students and colleagues that I serve with is, gratifying. And I would say the worst thing about education so far in my career, I've been like in different capacities. I've worked in the elementary sector as an administrator, the middle school sector, as well as the high school sector, or secondary altogether, rather. And I would say because I'm big on relationships, and sometimes I can kind of get attached to those that I serve with. So the worst for me so far has been, having to say goodbye. Like this year, even in Memphis Shelby County, I developed a lot of great relationships with the faculty, staff, and students and families. And just basically that goodbye, it was kind of, bothersome, but at the same time, I understand that I serve a bigger purpose.
No, you're so right. I mean, we just had graduation here recently, and it's hard to say goodbye even to your seniors, even if they've been with you for 4 years, because they're going on to bigger and better things. So yeah, you're right. That's like a two-edged sword, Yeah. Dr. Cunningham, the worldwide pandemic has negatively impacted many staff, students, and communities all across the United States and the world. How has the pandemic impacted you, your family, and your K-12 career?
Far as me personally, I've been trying to take all the precautions. I've tried to, I of course, receive my shots, and I tried to just basically follow all the protocols. As far as my family, so far, we've been blessed. We haven't had any big mix-ups or anything like that. Of course, a couple of people, contracted COVID, but besides that, we were all blessed and fortunate to be, okay so far within this pandemic. Yeah, but as far as like within the building, within me working as an educator, I've seen both sides of it. Of course, I've had like some colleagues and former colleagues who, who are no longer with us now because of the disease.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I've seen, families like, deal with it from different standpoints, but within the district because I know when COVID first came about, I was working at Fayette County Public Schools. And I knew at the time, of course, for the first beginning part of it, the kids were not in the building. And of course, we went to the hybrid model. And to me, from what I saw during the whole time, the course and time when things were going as they were going, we made the best decisions that were in, the best interest of the students. The students were put first, and their safety was put first. And this past year, of course, with things kind of still being in limbo, we still, utilize those precautions and, use those safety measures to put our students first. So when it came to like how we serve students, I've had a good experience. Just the only bad experiences I've had with COVID is just losing those colleagues and those family, not family members, but friends. I haven't lost family
I get
members,
that. Yeah.
friends. Yeah.
You're right. You're so right. And what I love about what you've been saying through this whole interview, Dr. Cunningham, is just doing everything through the lens of what's in the best interest of students. So kudos to you for that, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Cunningham, sometimes our K-12 profession gets a bad rap. Why do you believe that K-12 education is such a noble profession?
You have to be called to do it. You have to be called to do it. And it's just, to me, one of those things where we are at the foundation. It's like, I feel like it's a community, it's a web, but we're like at the core with the families. We're in the grassroots. We're at the bottom, we're working, and we have the ability to transform lives. If we're able to make those connections with those students and with those families, we're able to, in some cases, break generational curses. I feel like our position that we play is very noble, kind of like, again, going back to what I stated about seeing my dad being like a religious leader, seeing the purpose he had in the lives of those that he served. I feel like that correlates along with us as educators. We have that same ability when it comes to like making decisions and putting things in place that can, lead to the betterment of those that we serve.
So true. So true. I know I wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be having this conversation with me being Dr. Williams if it wasn't for my mom just instilling in me and my brothers and sisters just the importance of education. So you're so right. So right. Dr. Cunningham, what are your short and long-term goals? When I look at you, I see greatness within you, and obviously you're going to be a principal at a high school. I mean, a junior high, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, what do you see yourself doing in the next 5, 10 years?
I just consider myself a vessel when it comes to this. I'm more about doing what I can to serve those that I, do in this profession, those who I serve as an educator. I have, like, when it comes to goals, of course, I've done the classroom thing as a teacher. I had goals in the classroom. I had goals as, administrator, wanting to be an administrator on this level, administrator on that level. I personally do not just have a absolute goal, to be quite honest.
Sure.
Because to me, it's just, I'm all about the work. I enjoy doing this work. I feel like this is hard work, and I enjoy, giving my heart and giving every bit of me each and every day when I do this. So I don't necessarily have a short-term or long-term goal. My biggest thing is just making sure that I give what I have to do what's in the best interest of students each and every day.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I like how you said, hey, I just want to be a vessel. That's powerful.
Yes.
Dr. Cunningham, how do you maintain work-life balance? It's clear you're truly committed to your profession, but how do you kind of balance that out with your life?
I believe in, of course, my religious beliefs, but also besides that, I also like to work out. I like to spend time with friends and family. I like to departmentalize things. I like to not let work carry over and spill over into my personal areas of life. Even though I feel like everything serves a purpose, I like to make sure that I'm always replenishing and pouring back into myself.
Absolutely. If you're on empty, how can you pour into anybody else, right?
Yes, that's correct.
If you had to do it all over again, Dr. Cunningham, I know you said, hey, in first grade, my teacher, planted that seed. But if you had to do it all over again, would you still have made the decision to work as a K12 educator?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, Dr. Cunningham, I want to acknowledge and honor you for all the good work that you're doing on behalf of the students in your community. And I created this platform just to showcase people like you that are doing great work in communities all over the U.S. and the world. So I really want to acknowledge and honor you for the work that you're doing.
I greatly appreciate that, Dr. Williams.
Thank you. Dr. Cunningham, I want to thank you so much for coming on the My K12 Career Show today. But before you leave, would you please give our viewers some parting words of wisdom? Tell us how we can connect with you, and then we'll say goodbye.
Thank you. I'll basically say, when it comes to the things that we do in life, everything has a reason. Everything has a purpose. This business that, and to me, this calling that we serve in,
sure.
It is for the betterment, and it's for the betterment and the advancement of people, and not just particular people, but all people. And I feel like having that mindset and being able to use that as a part of your groundwork and putting it together with synergy promotes, improve outcomes. When we look at those quote unquote promote, in student outcome, improve student outcomes.
Sure.
And I will say, as far as I love the work. I love this. This is just, a part of me, and it's something I wake up and I do every day, vigorously with a lot of love and passion. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to serve as an educator.
Sure.
And I can be contacted on Twitter at Don't Quit 06. I can be contacted on Facebook at Brian L. Cunningham. And I can also be contacted on LinkedIn at Brian L. Cunningham, ED.D.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Doc, for coming on the show. I am so grateful to you for coming on and sharing your story with our viewers. And I know that a lot of our viewers are going to get a lot of value about what you shared and inspiration as well, because it's so clear to me that you are doing this for all the right reasons. This is not about a career or a job. This is about the work and about a calling and about being used as a vessel. You stated that so eloquently. So thank you so much for coming on the show, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and I greatly appreciate you, and I wish you the best as well.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Yes.